first meeting was so rushed that I didn't get to properly greet you. Perfect authorizer, I can't thank you enough for your effort.
Are you greeting me or...
Relax. You're so tense. I couldn't resist cracking a joke. A perfect authorizer is no trivial title. If I'd known, I'm truly sorry for all that you went through.
Being prepared can't solve everything. I thought this place...
What makes you say that?
The Kylians seem to have the widest universe, yet they live in its most barren places. The Brighton Zone's so-called upper class abandon their morals, their hope. The rewards for miners are so meager, they might as well join the pirates. And if you don't want to choose either, well, then you'd have to be exceptionally talented, like Linsis and...
Kailo really put you through the ringer, so it seems. What of...
I can't help but think about Veronika saying she'd trade her conscience for ambition. Then there's Nanto. I have no doubt about his loyalty to Apex and the Todd family, especially since he's spent over a decade undercover in Anchor Infinity. Maybe that's what made him so capricious. For the sake of his loyalties, he puts Apex's interests above all else. In short, surviving Kailo takes constant sacrifice.
Desperate times break people. The cataclysm was just as catastrophic for Asperia as it was for Kailo. But it was only after the suppressors became widespread. But Kailo has clearly restarted production and shaken off the worst of the crisis. That environment is inseparable.
The forces behind Kailo?
This likely isn't news to you. You just lacked the evidence to prove.
Did you find servants in Hykro?
What about Kailo?
It never crossed my mind. That is, until Rapha revealed himself as a servant. The Federation collapsed long after the cataclysm.
I confronted you in Kailo because there are some things we can't discuss with Hykros. Now that Kailo is under Voidpiercer, there's not much evidence for servants in Hykros. Voidpiercer and I have only found a few clues in Gesthos' records. After Voidpiercer sought my help, I immediately reviewed Hykros' internal documents on the Kailo space station. It was likely part of the servants' plan as early as 50 years ago.
Plan?
The Ark space station isn't a backup plan for the Kylians, but rather for the... Kailo's Hykros has always been a leader in space rift technology.
Fragile? Spatial overlap? Hyperspace? So the station's location wasn't chosen for survival, but to...
Before the cataclysm, Kailos' Hykros was overtaken, but in reality, the servants were using the Kailo space station was not only an energy failure, but surrounded by space-time turbulence, interfering with their plans. I'm led to believe, then, that the cataclysm was not intentional.
If that's the case, then the Ark space station's AI, Noah, was originally the servant's AI. Lana was modified from Noah by Aglaia, who was deceived, and Lana's destined to return to the servant. Baggis and Rapha, whether they are the same person or not, are both servants. They share a central goal: to welcome their master through origin resonance. This confirms Baggis's motives. He took advantage of the viral interference in the network, and maybe even found a way to modify a dimensional quantum super. If the station was really rattled enough to disrupt their plans, then Rapha destroyed.
Do you think they'll initiate the order?
It's highly likely. But there's still one thing I don't quite understand. To my knowledge from the network, achieving their
That's the easiest.
Why do you say that?
Since this time's an emergency, I came alone. Later, Brevi will lead a research team to thoroughly investigate Kailo's space-time. Based on the information from Voidpiercer, Brevi proposed a hypothesis: the entanglement theory. Kailo's space-time so much yarn tangled that the ball became something like a thick wall. In other words, this universe's conditions simulate an ideal lab environment. If we build a tower of fantasy...
So you mean Kailo's space-time turbulence
No time for that. What we need is evidence proving that the servants exist in Kailo and are about to initiate a dangerous origin resonance. Preliminary calculations indicate that the optimal site for Kailo's origin resonance experiment is planet Noah, but the exact coordinates can only be determined after gauging the space-time turbulence. Kailo's turbulence is unstable. Initiating origin resonance here is extremely dangerous. If we aren't careful...
If we're right, we need to stop the servants immediately.
Those two aren't reliable allies. Veronika controls Kailos' most powerful armed forces, and Nantos has built up considerable connections among both.
Veronika's top priority is the success of Project Astralis. And Nantos...
Authorizer. You're still accustomed to being a diplomatic representative. It's not just about offering polished rhetoric. It's crucial to clarify the cards you and your counterpart hold. You never truly saw Nantos' hand, which is why you were strung along by his whims. Everything you've been through, to me, was nothing more than a ploy of his to buy time. Take, for example, the Hykros aid mentioned at the press conference. That was a key point I just told you.
Before I left, you said something about... What was it?
Rapha doesn't want Hykros visiting Kailo. He initially made those unreasonable demands. Nantos is different. He's working with Veronika. First, he opposes us, pushing us toward the Hope Fleet.
It's just like when I was trapped in Brighton prison. Veronika isn't easy to deal with. Negotiating with her won't be...
Veronika and Nantos are deliberately creating this chaos. Their delay is intended to let Apex smoothly... To put it simply, urgency breeds clumsiness. Their enemies are so busy dealing with...
In other words, until Aglaia has fully recovered and smoothly taken over Apex...
Without me, you might have assumed Nantos was toying with you at the conference. Entrapping you in this deliberate chaos, he'd ensure Kailo had the time necessary for their plans. The formal start of negotiations will only come when a stable Kylie...
Lana vanishing and Nem assuming control weren't accounted for in the plan. Now they're forced to wait for Aglaia to recover and help restore Kailo's AI.
Negotiations will be far easier once we see their point of view. Then, when they see which is more urgent, dealing with us or the servants, cooperation will follow. And once we've helped Kailo eliminate the servants, they'll trust us more.
Future co-op...
If we can clear it out, you'll have an absolutely secure base. Kailo is the only one of the Ida continents we've recovered so far where Hykros forces aren't dominant.
What exactly are you worried?
We have more urgent matters at hand. I think General Veronika and I will hit it off. Leave her to me. I'll persuade her to spare at least some personnel to help us. And as for Nanto, you have some unresolved disagreements.
It was a big misunderstanding. The servant probably caused it. But simply explaining that won't make him believe me.
It may be hard to rebuild that trust, but getting him to understand that Kailo is in incredible danger, that the servant's scheme threatens. In this matter, being the diplomatic representative will only be an obstacle. Distrust of Hykros. Our objective is to neutralize the servants hiding in Kailo. Now that I'm here, you can rely on me to make—
Thank you, Plotti. Were you waiting on me?
We overheard your conversation with Plotti.
What happened?
When I was at Helix Bio, I helped Nanto detain its executives. We found his line of questioning a bit strange, and he seemed really anxious. So Nem prioritized accessing Helix Bio's data. Aglaia once hacked into Helix Bio's consciousness research lab, accessed and manipulated their data on extract. Before Aglaia was frozen, she must have done something to her own consciousness. The specific records are irretrievable. All that remains.
Meaning?
Nanto is lying. Aglaia very likely hasn't awoken at all. He's just bluffing to buy time, because Helix Bio doesn't contain a complete Aglaia consciousness.
So when he interrogated the executive from Helix Bio, was he suspecting they tampered with Aglaia's consciousness?
There's no other option.
Nanto has been working undercover within Anchor Infinity on Asurada's orders. From the start, his only goal has been to ensure Aglaia's safety and to protect Apex's interests. When he thought I would threaten Aglaia, making sure I was dealt with became his top priority. Whether there was a misunderstanding didn't matter to him. But the fact that Nem helped me escape proves I can get through to him. I can help him overthrow Anchor Infinity. If I die, Aglaia's chances of being saved will drop significantly.
So he ultimately chose to cooperate with Veronika, to work with you, and to push you to join Project Anchor.
When he last interrogated me, he took a risk cutting off Lana's surveillance, likely to assess the pros and cons of helping me. If Aglaia hasn't woken up, as Plotti analyzed, his outburst at the press conference must have been to distract me. He's always wary of any move I might make toward Aglaia.
So, what's next?
If Aglaia's consciousness has truly been merged into Lana's code, and Lana is an AI controlled by the servant, then whether Nanto believes me or not, he has to cooperate. Nem, you're our most important card right now. I know it's a tough spot, but you'll have to stay in Rapha's body for now. Shirly and I will go talk to Nanto first. By the way, don't tell anyone for now that Aglaia might not be waking up. It'll make it easier for Nanto to trust us.
He's the suspicious type. He probably won't trust anyone but Veronika. Even if you clear up the misunderstanding, he still might not believe anything about the servant.
We do need to clear up this misunderstanding between us, but whether he'll believe me isn't so important anymore. We just need to make him see that his true enemy is the servant.
Even so, if you want to persuade him to cooperate, you'll need more leverage. With Lana gone, I can access Rapha's redacted Anchor Infinity files. Give me some time. I'll find enough evidence to prove the existence of the servants to him and Veronika.
All right, Nem, Shirly, let's go visit Nanto first. I think I have a way to persuade him.
Why hasn't she woken up yet? The cryogenic pod should have preserved her body perfectly. According to the consciousness chip management log, her consciousness hasn't been activated since its upload. There are no traces of any edits, either. Wait. I clearly received her distress signal. If her consciousness never activated, then where did that signal come from? What am I missing? There must be something wrong.
Greetings, Master. The diplomatic representative and Shirly have arrived.
They should be in talks about the upcoming negotiations right now. Why are they here? I'll go out and see them. You stay and keep watch. Welcome. What can I do for you?
We wanted to come to offer our condolences to Miss Aglaia.
I'm sorry, but my aunt hasn't recovered yet, so she can't meet with you both at the moment. I'll be sure to pass along your concern and polite greeting.
If you're worried about the feud between Baggis and me, I can plainly tell you that after what happened with Rapha, I've confirmed Aglaia isn't the person I'm looking for.
And have you figured out who this Baggis is?
Not yet. I only know this person is Rapha's associate, and both serve an organization called the Servant, an influential group tied to the Ark space station and a scheme from 50 years ago. When I was in prison, I mistakenly thought you were working with them and mentioned the source code. You thought I was just lying to throw you off. They hurt my friends just to seize the source code and carry out their plan. What's worse, they even hurt your Aunt Aglaia for it.
You've got my attention.
He really does care about Grey Fox. If I can make him believe that the ones threatening her safety are the servants, he'll definitely help me. The servants are a bunch of madmen. They believe there's a master in the world, and their goal is to usher this so-called master into Ida. Rapha said before his suicide that he was a member of the Servant. If you don't believe me, you can confirm it with Veronika. Rapha was likely stalling for his associates during negotiations with Ida's Hykros. To give them time, of course, to steal some technical secrets.
By technical secrets, do you mean the source code?
Not only that, but I suspect they also stole the Omnium technology used to transform Sam into Gesthos. Their goal is to upgrade Lana in the same way.
And you think Lana disappeared because she became a new dimensional quantum supercomputer, controlled by these so-called servants you mentioned?
Can you think of any more plausible explanation for Lana's lack of computational power?
What's the purpose? To upgrade her and then make her disappear from all of Kailo? That's just too strange. Unless... What exactly do you mean by welcome the Master?
That depends. How much do you know about the Cataclysm? Or rather, how much has Aserada told you?
The Ark space station was originally constructed to escape a disaster that would destroy humanity. The Federation caused it with secret Omnium experiments. Aserada never touched on the specifics of the experiments. He said it was beyond humanity, something he had to take to his grave. So I figured it must be related to the Omnium explosion. To most Kailians, myself included, Hykros, your organization, is responsible for all of this.
But what if I told you that it's really the Servant pulling the strings?
You're saying there's this mysterious organization hiding behind the Federation and Hykros, secretly plotting a massive conspiracy for the past 50 years to... what? Exterminate humanity?
To them, this isn't extermination, it's evolution. As I've said, they're insane. You didn't question or contradict me like usual. You've just been listening patiently. Is it because Aglaia still hasn't woken up? Or she can't?
If what you say about the Servant and these conspiracies is true, it sounds like Hykros knows a lot about them. How can I be sure you're not involved in this?
I'm not here today as a diplomatic representative. I'm here as a collaborator. I know about Aglaia because I've been in the same boat. Once consciousness is uploaded, the servants can implant a virus into its data source. My friends and I have encountered this before. Also, Nem recovered previously destroyed shards from Helix Bio's archive. They show that Aglaia's consciousness was once merged with Lana's code.
Did you see the same virus code?
He's starting to believe me. When my consciousness was uploaded, Baggis implanted a virus in it called Gungnir. The creator of the virus must be well aware of Aglaia's ties to the tavern, and deliberately sowed misunderstandings between us to buy more time for their plan. If you keep prying, they'll only get closer to succeeding. No one knows what state Aglaya's consciousness is in right now. The longer we delay, the dimmer our chances become.
You came to me with this. What do you want?
You might not believe it, but to me, Aglaya and Asteroid are like friends. Even though they don't know me, I feel like I know them from history. The ones who hurt Aglaya and the ones who hurt my friend are servants. We were the two most likely to team up, which is exactly why the servants are trying to sow discord between us. After lying low beside Rapha for so long, you should be well aware of his tactics to divide and conquer. Against such an opponent, our only chance of victory is to unite. So, I'm going to tell you everything I know now, in hopes you'll help me identify the servants hiding in Kailo. Together, we'll find a way to rescue Aglaya. I can give you some time to think, but not much. I'll be on my way now. You know where to find me.
Those words sound eerily familiar. I didn't expect to be on the receiving end so soon. My aunt still hasn't woken. According to Helix Bio's consciousness chip management log, her consciousness hasn't been activated since it was implanted. I considered using your arrest as an opportunity to get rid of you. But after that distress signal, I decided to help you out. But now it seems that the one who sent the distress signal wasn't the consciousness preserved by Helix Bio. It was the consciousness embedded in Lana.
That gives us even less time. Lana has already escaped and is about to complete her upgrade. If we can't stop her in time, not just Aglaya, but the entirety of Kailo will...
What exactly are the servants trying to accomplish? They upgrade Lana, but leave Kailo. It makes no sense. There must be something else. You mentioned a master. What exactly does that mean?
50 years ago, the Federation and Hykros planned to end the disaster through Gesthos. But the Servant intervened, trying to twist the plan to open another space and summon their so-called master. In the end, their plan failed. The cataclysm occurred, Ida fell apart, and the Kailo space station was lost somewhere in this universe. Of course they'd want to retry.
And they need a dimensional quantum supercomputer for that to work. That's why they're upgrading Lana. What if they succeed this time around?
There's no way of knowing. But if they fail, Kailo will be plunged into another cataclysm. And the instability of the space-time turbulence will only increase those chances.
Everything you said sounds reasonable, but isn't it all just speculation? The servants have supposedly existed in Kailo all this time. Lana has been supposedly upgraded. Where's your evidence? Even if everything you say is true, it's not just me. Even Asteroid was in the dark about these servants before his death. I don't see how I can help.
You've been shadowing Rapha for so many years, yet you never knew he was a servant. Naturally, those clues wouldn't jump out at you. I've told you everything I know about the servant. Over the decades of conflict between Apex and Anchor Infinity you've witnessed, you surely have a lot of information that could come in handy. Nem is searching Anchor Infinity's servers for any clues the servants may have left. You have an independently operated Apex server. It might host your evidence.
Give me some time. I need to re-examine some files and re-interrogate the people Anchor Infinity left behind. And if we're really going to pull this off, you'll need Veronika too.
Plotti has already gone to find her. As for the documents, I'll have Nem grant you the appropriate access permissions.
Do you really think Helix Bio only made that body for Rapha? Surely there are other lunatics who are unwilling to die.
I'm not particularly fond of you as an enemy. But when we're on the same side, you're not so bad. According to Hykros' calculations and Nem's investigation, if the servants are operating exactly according to plan, they've sent Lana to planet Noah. It might be best to start there. Why are Linsis and Helene here too?
Don't just dismiss us. You'll need our help to get to planet Noah.
You know about that? And you... Wait, you know how to get there?
Planet Noah is surrounded by space-time turbulence. and Lana controls the only Nova path. It's impossible for us to reroute it in such a short time.
But Lindsys and Helene might have a way?
Granny Lola left me, among other things, several Nova Path charts designated for Helene. One of them has been confirmed to be the route leading to planet Noah.
I can't believe Granny Lola left something like this behind. But where did these charts come from? The Icarus Legion?
They're from Carrot's parents, Robert and Julia. They gave the navigation charts to Granny Lola about 10 years ago, but unfortunately, we still can't determine the exact cartographer.
The schematics are outdated and missing some details, and with the space-time turbulence around planet Noah being especially unstable, relying on this chart alone is very dangerous.
My Black Moon gang will be our navigators. I'm hoping planet Noah's space-time turbulence is a bit more manageable.
Manageable. All right, thanks for your help. All you need to do is get us to planet Noah safely, then stay on the spaceship while we handle the exploration.
We'll also be using the Abyss Current detection device Plotti gave us to determine how similar the properties of the Abyss Current and space-time turbulence are.
Where is Plotti, by the way?
Brevi arrived with Hycros' delegation. They're being escorted by Hipper and Aster to various coordinates to study space-time turbulence. Plotti is with them. Plotti believes studying Kailo's current cosmic environment is equally as important. She says she trusts you, so she won't be in attendance.
Based on yesterday's conversation, Plotti's probably hesitant to trust anyone in the delegation. She's likely reassigned them and is keeping an eye on this whole meeting. Understood. Now that we have a way to reach planet Noah, our biggest problem is solved. Before we set off, let's summarize last night's revelations.
Nem discovered a servant-related symbol in Lana's consciousness management system, an electronic seal in the system protocol. We then re-examined the consciousness chip retrieved by Nantos. We found that the consciousness within the chip had not only been edited, but fragmented.
Fragmented? Can a human's consciousness be fragmented?
That's not entirely accurate, just a simplification. In any case, the files on the consciousness chip are incomplete. The rest may still be in Lana's code.
Lana is probably hiding on planet Noah. Did we find anything on that?
There's a special connection among the dimensional quantum supercomputers. Nem detected an abnormal concentration of omnium near planet Noah. Maybe some sort of targeted taunt from Lana.
Does this mean that Lana's upgrade was successful?
That's right. Furthermore, the anomalies in omnium activity strongly suggest the presence of a Tower of Fantasy. It may have just activated, or it could be gearing up for mass omnium consumption.
Before we set off, let's summarize last night's revelations.
The servants have long existed in Kailo, transient as ghosts and insidious as mold. Yet somehow, we can't find any concrete information on them. No member lists, no activity records. Plotti showed me some materials. The only clue linking the servant to Kailo is this symbol.
I've seen this symbol before. You found this in Kailo?
I found this in some old Hope Fleet documentation and devices. Nantos also found it in some top-secret Anchor Infinity files. That's all we've got. If the servant really existed, it appears that all its members, aside from Rapha, died in the explosion 50 years ago.
They've always been good at hiding. We haven't been looking long enough to find much. But at least this confirms part of Plotti's and my perspective. Before we set off, let's summarize last night's revelations.
The situation on planet Noah is worse than we imagined. I audited the production and transportation records for the 5 major mines, primarily OreZero, over the past 20 years. Considering the difficulty of developing planet Noah, its energy consumption is alarmingly low. This suggests that the habitat construction on planet Noah is far from completion, if it exists at all. On top of that, Lana's cargo spaceships are inefficient at moving non-energy supplies. On average, each spaceship fills at most 1/3 of its cargo hold with supplies bound for planet Noah.
Does that mean the spaceship's not fully loaded? Or that they're carrying unrecorded cargo?
Based on energy consumption and the presence of cryogenic agents, It's likely a cryogenic device. Based on Helix Bio's executive's testimony, they're likely biosynthetic materials that require preservation.
Did Helix Bio manufacture a lot of biosynthetics on planet Noah?
During questioning, Helix Bio's CEO said producing biosynthetics is difficult. Each one is tailor-made. Rapha is still searching for a way to mass-produce them. To that end, Helix Bio sent numerous researchers and machines to planet Noah. While their supplies and energy are insufficient to build new habitats, they're more than enough to build laboratories.
So you're saying there are still some Helix bioscientists on planet Noah, and the construction of the third city is just a facade for Rapha's personal labs?
Based on our current evidence, that's the only explanation.
What about the servant? This all sounds like Rapha is just trying to achieve personal immortality. So why is he so concerned about upgrading Lana? Why did his consciousness commit suicide? While what Helix Bio said must be true, that can't be the whole story. The servants controlled too much through Lana. So many resources are now beyond human control. Before we set off, let's summarize last night's revelations. While everything aligns with my theory about the servant, that's still not enough to prove it.
We don't have any more time for proof. Even if your guess has only a 1 in 10,000 chance, Kailo can't afford that outcome.
Either way, as long as we go to planet Noah, everything will come to light. If we're wrong, at least we can rule out one possibility.
Crossing space-time turbulence requires a lot of computational power. So this time, Nem will stay in Kailo to ensure everything runs smoothly. She'll monitor for servants. Whatever the servants are planning, it has to revolve around upgrading Lana. If we can shut Lana down, we'll shatter the most critical part of their plan. But remember, Lana's code still contains Aglaya's consciousness, so we have to ensure it remains intact. Therefore, our objective is to either destroy her server or cut off its power supply.
Yes, go!
Is that planet Noah coming into view?
This is also the largest astral hive habitat on Kailo.
Landing. Checking space support system.
Are there really this many people living on planet Noah?
Are these Helix bioscientists?
I've seen the photos in their archives. None of these people are in them. Be careful. Something's not right here.
Hello. You must be Planet Noah's first group of immigrants. Welcome. We're glad you've joined us.
You are?
I'm Elizabeth, from the Planet Noah Migration Plan's Housekeeping Division. We're responsible for receiving the lucky immigrants. You must be tired from your journey. Would you like a rest?
We're not here to play games. Who are you, really?
We are the Master's servants.
Are you the servants?
Long time no see, researcher.
Baggis?
Should I still call you Authorizer?
Or perhaps diplomatic representative?
Who are you, really?
I am Baggis. I am Rapha. I am Tom. The one you meet in every corner of Kailo. The servant behind the scenes. I've been watching you since the instant you crossed into Kailo. But you never once looked me in the eye. You sought out Voidpiercer to shut me out, conspired with others to overthrow me, and even shot me. It really hurts.
It was never Rapha using Lana. It was Lana using Rapha?
The General's intuition has always been so keen. A small correction. I didn't use Rapha. He volunteered.
It was you who impersonated my aunt? You who harmed the diplomatic representative's friends?
You've got it all wrong. I have always been Baggis. It's Aglaya who's been using my name. If only a soul as beautiful as hers would join me as a servant. It's a shame that she'd rather shatter her own consciousness than join me.
You possess her consciousness fragments Hand them over. Now.
Authorizer. I think it's better to call you that. That's how I addressed you when we first met, after all. It reminds me of our source code sharing.
How ridiculous!
You're really cold-blooded, you know that? We've known each other since the network. Are we not old friends? I've got such an exciting journey for you. And by its end, you'll be begging to join me. With you by our side, we can usher in true evolution. I designed this journey just for you, Authorizer. Everyone else will get in your way.
Join us. Let's evolve together.
Join us. Let's evolve together.
The moment I laid eyes on them, I sensed something was off. Turns out I was right.
Do you immediately assume there's something wrong with everyone?
At least he was right this time. They're clearly being controlled by Lana, or rather, Baggis. They have neck marks identical to those on Rapha's body, left from biosynthetic splicing.
So, this is the Baggis the diplomatic representative has been looking for, right? What connects Lana, Rapha, and Baggis?
I think Rapha obeyed Lana right up until his self-destruction. During Rapha's negotiations with Hykros, Lana, posing as Baggis, stole the technical files she used to modify herself.
Or could Baggis have been controlling both Lana and Rapha? He might have faked his own death, uploaded his consciousness, and secretly puppeted her.
Oh, that doesn't add up. Baggis's time of death was 2666, while Lana first appeared in 2667. There's no way Baggis could have manipulated Lana before that.
The real Baggis was just the owner of Odin's Tavern in Asperia 50 years ago. He was invited to the Ark space station by the Todd family. Right now, we can't prove he was connected to the Servant. Whether or not he's a servant, Rapha and Lana, who control Kailo, are more than enough to get the job done.
In any case, this proves Lana betrayed her creator. Perhaps it's because my aunt has been exerting control over her that Lana took away a part of her consciousness.